Okay, here we are with number 8. So I'm not going to spend time reading through this whole problem. You can pause the video and do that yourself. So we're on holiday. There's a bunch of different coins. There's 5 different coins. Each one has a different symbol. We don't know which is which. So, so we have this situation where we go get coffee every morning. We pay with a $5 note as opposed to a coin. So $5 note. The cost of our purchase is $3.20. Now, we usually get a certain amount of change back. The change is going to be the same throughout, so we're getting $1.80 back each time, and that's going to be the first big thing to point out for yourself here. So we pay $5 for something that was $3.20, and we're getting back $1.80 every time. So in each of the 2 situations they give us here, whether it's the 3 fish plus the 3 cats, or the 5 fish, the 5 birds, and the 1 star, it's always going to be equal to $1.80. So we know the first situation is 3 cats, right? Or 3 fish plus 3 cats is $1.80. Now we know that the denominations of coin here are going to be 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and $1. So what we're trying to do here is eliminate whatever coins that we can and see if we can narrow it down to possibilities. So there's a couple of different ways you can go about doing this. The way that they say on the mark scheme is to divide everything by 3. And yes, that would be the easier way to do it. And I'm just going to show you, you don't have to write this down yourself if you'd prefer to do it the other way. If you wouldn't think to divide by 3, you don't have to worry about that, but keep it in your mind as a possibility. If we divide everything by 3, we have 1 fish coin plus 1 cat coin is 60 cents. So from here, it's actually a little easier to narrow it down. Because obviously neither of them can be $1, so we can cross out the dollar. And then it's just a matter of checking here. If it's 50 cents, if it was 50 and 25, that wouldn't work. If it was 50 and 10, that would work. So we know for sure that 50 and 10 are 2 possibilities. Okay, but 10 and 5 doesn't work, 10 and 25 doesn't work. 25 and 5 doesn't work, 25 and 10 doesn't work. So it looks like the 10 cents and the 50 cents are the only possibilities. So one of them is going to be 10 cents, one of them is going to be 50 cents. We don't really know. That's why we have to continue on with the second portion of the problem. However, if you were to do this without dividing, you still would be doing the same thing. You'd just be doing a little bit more work to check to make sure. So if this was, for example, if cat was $1, for example, 3 times $1 would be $3, which is more than the total. So automatically we know that that's not going to be the case. We know we can eliminate 1. If it was 5 cents, for example, if fish was 5 cents, that would be 15 cents, and we would need a certain amount times 3, that would give us 180, and that's not going to work. So you can run through that on your own. If you'd like me to write it out for you, or if you'd like to check it with me, you're more than welcome to. But in the end, this 10 cents and the 50 cents are the only possibilities. So one's going to be 10 cents and one's going to be 50 cents. Now, if we bring it to the next part of the problem, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So from here, we know that it's 5 fish plus 5 bird plus 1 star also equals that same $1.80. So now we're kind of looking at, again, we know that fish has to be either 10 cents or 50 cents because we have fish and a cat here. So if one of them's 10 cents, the other one's 50 cents. And right now we don't have a cat in this equation. So if fish is going to be 10 cents, for example, well, that might potentially work because it's 5 times 10 cents is 50 cents. That's okay. But what happens if it's 50? If it's 50 cents times 5, that's $2.50. That's more. Oops. That's more than the total, so we know that can't be the case. So from that we know fish is going to be the one that is 10 cents. And for what the question was asking, the cat coin is going to be equal to the 50 cents. And that's going to be your final answer for 8A.